Dr. Anjali, whenever license for UAE comes in our mind, there are various licenses, whether it is the DHA, DOH, MOH, DHCC, why so many licenses? So can you tell us something why there are different licenses in UAE?
I'll give you an idea. So UAE licensing framework has 4 major authorities, out of which one is DHA, which stands for Dubai Health Authority, which specifically is for someone applying jobs in UAE, that is Dubai.
So someone who has done, say, MBBS in India, internship in India, is the internship from India accepted for licensing here, or do they have to repeat this internship?
It's accepted. UAE has been very generous in accepting the internship done from anywhere in the world, but provided you follow 2 conditions. The first condition is,
so what are the common mistakes which people do when they are preparing documents that may sometimes delay or may cause unwanted rejection of the documents?
we have come across n number of candidates, and the main common reason is lack of expert guidance, lack of professional guidance.
Namaste everyone. Welcome to one more episode of podcast with me. I am Dr. Amitabh Kulkarni. This is a platform where we explore real world insight for medical professional. Now today's topic is something interesting and on minds of countless Indian medical graduate. Medical licensing for UAE, United Arab Emirates. When you think about the licensing in UAE, there are various licenses, whether it is DHA, whether it is DOH or MOH. Sometimes it is more confusing for someone who is staying in India and want to pursue the licensing. I'm sure you have come across countless websites or the process to pursue the license. Only an expert can guide you for licensing in this process. I'm very happy I'm joined by Dr. Anjali, who is a seasoned physician and has been helping countless Indian doctors to pursue their dream of licensing and working in UAE. Now she will tell us about what is the process, what are the mistakes done by the candidates, and how to pursue this in a smarter way. Thank you, Dr. Anjali, for joining our podcast and accepting the invitation. So, Dr. Anjali, can you tell us something about your background?
Yes, definitely. Hello to all, and I'm glad and honored to be here with Dr. Amitabh Kulkarni, who gave me this opportunity to clarify all the doubts. A little about me. My name is Dr. Anjali Sawant. I'm currently based and practicing in UAE, Dubai. I hold a license of India as well as UAE. A little more about my background. I also run a business for healthcare professionals wanting to start their career in Middle East. I work in collaboration with the official Dataflow group here, which is like an official verifying partner in UAE and who follows the UAE laws.
Yeah, so we will share the link about her company in the description and comments. You will get more information about
Definitely,
that.
sir.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali. Dr. Anjali, whenever license for UAE comes in our mind, there are various licenses, whether it is the DHA, DOH, MOH, DHCC. So people often get confused about it. Why so many licenses? So can you tell us something why there are different licenses in UAE?
Sure. I'll give you an idea. So UAE licensing framework has 4 major authorities, out of which one is DHA, which stands for Dubai Health Authority, which specifically is for someone applying jobs in UAE, that is Dubai. Then there is an authority called as DOH, which is formerly called as HAD, which stands for Department of Health, for anybody applying in Abu Dhabi and Al Ain. The third authority is Ministry of Health and Prevention, which is for Northern Emirates like Sharjah, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Al Quwain and Ajman. And then there is one more authority called as DHCC, which is Dubai Healthcare City. So this authority is a free zone, which is basically for private and international hospitals. Now these each authorities come under UAE licensing law. They follow the UAE licensing law, but they have their own or maintain their own licensing systems and exams.
Okay, so there are so many licenses. So obviously, a person sitting in India is going to get confused. So how does he decide which license to apply and where he should be practicing?
Well, that's a very nice question. So basically, the base on how a candidate can start or decide where to practice is where they intend to practice. For, let's say, any doctor or any candidate in India gets a job offer from Dubai, so he will be applying to DHA.
DHA.
Any person gets a job opportunity, or let's say a facility from Abu Dhabi hires him, he will be applying for DOH. And likewise, if any person intends to stay or practice in Sharjah or Ajman, they will go for MOH.
Yeah, yeah. So depending on which area they want to practice or where they are offered a job, they will take a further decision.
Correct, based on the target location and the hiring facility.
In that case, Dr. Anjali, what are the main eligibility criteria for someone who want to apply for license in UAE?
Okay, let's talk about a general aspect. UAE healthcare structure is very defined. So basically, anybody, let's say an Indian medical graduate or any graduate globally, we come across many candidates. Anybody wanting to come in UAE and apply in UAE, there is a laid set of rule that UAE government has made it simplified. Okay, so let's say the eligibility criteria for someone with an MBBS degree is eligible to apply as a general practitioner. Someone with a BDS degree can come and apply for a general dentist. Somebody with a MBBS plus an MD or DNB can apply for specialist. And likewise, anybody with super specialization, doctors that in India, super specialization is very common. There are many doctors who are highly skilled. They can easily apply for a title called as consultant. So the UAE law has made it very simplified as per the professional qualification requirement for a candidate to come and apply.
So someone who has done, say, MBBS in India, internship in India, is the internship from India accepted for licensing here, or do they have to repeat this internship afterwards?
That's a very nice question, and it is commonly confusing, and many candidates have it. So a candidate who has done their internship in India or outside India, it's accepted. UAE has been very generous in accepting the internship done from anywhere in the world, but provided you follow two conditions. The first condition is it should be from a recognized institution or a teaching hospital. Secondly, your internship letter should hold a proper rotatory or maybe a rotation of all the departments and should be verified from the Dataflow group. That's a must and important criteria to be followed. Other than that, you do not have to do your internship again when you plan to practice in UAE.
Yeah, so doctors, this is very reassuring for someone from India that internship is recognized provided it's from a recognized institute.
Absolutely.
As well as it is cleared by Dataflow, which we will be discussing later. Now, someone who is coming to UAE, there are various licenses, whether it is a general practitioner, GP license, specialist license, consultant license. Again, like number of licenses, even this is confusing at times. For me also it was confusing when I applied. So what are these various licenses in UAE, even with the in the same what I would say area, like say Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or Northern Emirates?
Correct. So what has happened is now, before few years, these things were not very clear, but since recent years, a PQR, a professional qualification requirement, has been released by UAE government, which is generally which includes all the states, every tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all the countries. So the requirements are pretty simple. Let me tell you in a more simplified version. Let's talk about an ex-candidate coming with an MBBS degree and a BDS degree. This candidate, the professional qualification requirement for this person will be 1 year of mandatory internship. Along with that, 2 years of clinical experience. So any candidate with this professional fulfilling requirement can then apply for a title called as general practitioner. So second, a Y candidate, for example, has an MBBS degree with an MD and DNB in any specialization. Should have 3 years of clinical experience post PG. They are qualified as specialist. And then the Z candidate, for example, has done a super specialization. This candidate, the requirement as per UAE law will be, he will be requiring 5 years and plus of clinical experience to come and apply as consultants. This is how now the professional qualification requirement works. So neither are doctors confused, nor are they worried about which title are they going to apply, because the UAE government has been very lenient in accepting all forms of degrees coming from India, coming from all around the world. As long as you fulfill their criteria, it's good to go.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a comprehensive information. The link to the PQR professional qualification requirement, we will mention it in the comments so that it will be a big help for all of you. Now, could you walk us through the step by step? Someone who is actually say, eligible to apply for any license, whether it is GP or specialist or consultant, can you just tell us what is the step by step process for that?
Absolutely. I think this is up my alley. So what I'll do is I'll give you in a simplified way. So these processes are different and may slightly vary as per your title and as per the authority you choose. And by authority, I mean which emirate you choose to work in, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or in Northern Emirates. So to simplify it, I'll give you 5 steps that are very important. So the first step is data flow and primary source verification. What is that? It is basically verifying your degree from the source, that is from the issuing authority, which is a mandatory step. Second is checking your eligibility from the authority. That means applying to see if you're eligible. Third is booking your exam, that is Prometric or Pearson Vue exams. The fourth step is your exam result and your eligibility letter. So by the name itself, it suggests that you are now eligible to apply for jobs, and that is only possible when you complete your step 1 data flow, step 2 exam, and then you come to step 3, because they all go hand in hand. And then the step 5, which is last but not the least, license activation. So this will only happen once you secure your eligibility letter and you secure your job. The facility will then activate into license. So this is how it works.
So this was a very, very important answer probably from today's podcast, the step by step, starting from data flow till the license activation. Now you mentioned about data flow. Why is it so important, data flow nowadays?
So let me tell you a background what Dataflow exactly is. So Dataflow is like an official verifying partner which is now, which follows UAE government healthcare laws. Okay, and they are official partners of UAE government. So what do? They will verify all of your documents required for your application or licensing process. That's your degree, your internship, your experience letter, your registration, your passport, your good standing. Everything will be verified via data flow from the issuing authority. So now the reason why it is done is because UAE government takes the verification very seriously, because it not only reflects their global healthcare standards, but it also reflects their commitment to patient safety. And UAE government has been very particular about all this, and that's the reason doing your data flow positively with a positive report ensures the credibility and authenticity of your graduation or education, which is a mandatory step in UAE.
So data flow, viewers, please understand it is very important, and it is done to maintain the standards of the healthcare, to maintain the authenticity, and as Dr. Anjali clearly said, to safeguard the patient care. Now coming to the next question. Now whenever preparing documentation, I am sure you must have come across various mistakes. So what are the common mistakes which people do when they are preparing documents that may sometimes delay or may cause unwanted rejection of the documents?
That's a very nice question. And everybody, majority of doctors face rejections, delays, issues with the applications. And we have come across n number of candidates. And the main common reason is lack of expert guidance, lack of professional guidance. And And the other common issues that I have been coming across. Recently, I had one of a candidate from Kerala who faced rejection thrice, and that's when they approached us. And when we studied their case, the reason I would love to share is because the documents which were uploaded were not clear. There were unclear documents uploaded. The dates did not match the registration and experience letters. So these were the two things that she was facing issues with. Other than that, I would also like to add few of the other things, is because your candidates do often forget to mention their internship dates, or they also misuse the signature. Maybe the signature is wrong, and sometimes what they do is they forget to upload the experience letter and they mention all the details. This happens. There is one common mistake that they always do is they are people, let's say seasoned physicians who have been practicing for 10 years. They try to upload all the documents that they have and forget to check if the hospital is still operational. And so happens that when you upload the document, Dataflow goes and verifies as per whatever their rules are, and it's very confidential way as to how they verify. But when they go on the site, or maybe online and offline, the hospital is not operational, the document doesn't get verified and it gets marked as unable to verify, which in turn becomes very difficult for a candidate to withdraw. As you cannot withdraw the document, neither can you change the outcome, because now that you have already applied it without doing a background check, or without an expert guidance, or without going to an expert and reviewing your documents, the candidates keep facing this rejections, and it's very common. And that is why we always tell candidates to at least go and seek professional expert guidance and review your eligibility before you go ahead.
Yeah, that is where your role starts.
Absolutely.
Probably. Yeah. So thank you for explaining everything in detail. Viewers, doctors, please understand each and every detail which you have mentioned in the form, or every details in your certificate is verified. So make sure everything is accurate, everything is clear, because if they are not able to read, obviously it's going to get rejected. So you mentioned that they mentioned about a hospital which is probably not existing now, so then they should not mention that hospital at all.
Yeah, so always do a background check. For example, some hospitals, what they do is they hand over it to a certain HR and they are not operational anymore, or rather they shut down the hospital.
Okay.
So these hospitals, these documents are a no. So you are not supposed to upload them, because once a document is submitted to Dataflow, you cannot withdraw them. So they are very strict about their process.
Yeah. So at times it may be frustrating for the candidate. He may feel that yes, I have done everything as per the recommendation, but still. So how long does this process takes, like from the initial step till he gets the license on an average?
Average, if I talk about, once if the review of your document or eligibility is done, once you start your data flow basically takes 45 to 60 days, and that counts to almost 12 weeks, let's say, or 8 weeks or rather, depending on the issuing authority as well, because data flow is going to go email the issuing authority. Let's say it goes to the university, and if your university delays or maybe replies on time and then everything works good, but let's have a cushion time for 12 weeks. It finishes in 12 weeks, and then the rest of the weeks are added depending on when the candidate has to give the exam, when he decides to give it, and then application of an eligibility letter. But a candidate coming to us for this expert guidance, what we do is we curate a 3-month plan as well. We have a candidate who has completed the entire licensing process in 3 months, right from data flow, exam, eligibility letter, and has started his job application after getting his CV curated as per UAE market.
Okay, so as less as 3 months it can take.
Yes.
But that may be the shortest duration. But what is the average duration? 6 months?
6 months. 6 months including the job applications.
Okay. Coming to the important question, how much money is involved in this process? I am sure it's on everyone's mind. So on an average, the licensing, because you are living in India, probably all the expenses you are incurring is in the AED currency. So how much is the total cost involved in this process?
So I would like to sum it up, or maybe generalize, because the cost depends on what title you are applying for, which authority you're applying for, and more specifically, it all depends on your documents. But I would like to give an idea as per title, what will be the cost. So let's say if I talk about a general practitioner or a general dentist, the sum up or the package that he can get is almost 4,500 to 5,000 AED, which will include his entire licensing process, like his data flow, his exam booking, his eligibility letter, and everything. If I talk about specialist, might come around 5,500 to 5,000. That's the maximum, because, and this might vary because of their experience letters, probably because specialists do have a lot of experience from different hospitals, and this can still vary. Then come consultant. Consultant, it's usually goes up to 6,000, depending on, again, the degrees that they hold, the super specialization that they hold, and the experience letter. But this is like a round figure in which doctors are supposed to bracket as to how much investment they will have to put for applying for licensing process in authorities.
Correct. And this is an average cost. It may vary from time to time, depending on the authority. Now, how is this exam pattern for, say, DHA, MOH, DOH? Is it same, different, and do the doctors have to come to UAE for these exams in all cases?
So talking about exam patterns, basically UAE authorities have made it very sure that it will be an MCQ based exam. Okay, where there is one single best answer. Now, the thing to be understood is that the authority called as DHA and Ministry of Health, these exams are conducted by Prometric. So Prometric is their exam partners, okay? And DOH, on the other hand, the exams are conducted by Pearson Vue. Both exams can be given online. Not specifically every candidate has to fly down to Dubai and give their exams. The centers are available in all the countries, in majority of the cities. All you'll have to do is book your online slot, select your country, and then pay for the exams and go and give the exams in the Prometric centers or the Pearson Vue centers. They have made it way too simplified now.
So all these exam centers, say Prometric center, are they easily available all over India?
Absolutely. So, for example, in Mumbai, there are a couple of centers, let's say 2 to 3 centers which are easily available. Somewhere in Bangalore, there are 3-4 centers. In Hyderabad, in Gujarat, there are many centers available for Prometric, because people have been giving this Prometric exam very eagerly, and that's how UAE government has been making sure that there are Prometric centers everywhere, and not all candidates have to fly down here and do their exams.
So most of them don't have to come to UAE for exam. They can do it
from their home country.
So how do they prepare for these exams then? Are there any official resources, or it's just your own subject which you need to master?
That's a question that everybody has as to how to prepare the exams. When it comes for exams preparation, now, general practitioner or general dentist, yes, there is a holy grail book called as Master the Board Step 2 CK, which we will be putting up in the description. Again, Dr. Amitabh will be putting it up. Also, there are few recall books, there are mock tests that people has to go through. For specialist and consultant, this is going to be a very tunnel vision preparation. As so they have to only master their subjects. And there are official resources available, which I would like to, mention, and that will be really mentioned in the description below by sir. Yeah, other than that, for general practitioners, I can only say there are few set of books that have to be followed.
So whatever resources are needed, which will be helpful for all of you who are planning to write the exams or pursue the license, we will mention all the links in the description. Now, someone who has just finished his education, can he immediately take the test, or he has some waiting period before he writes exam? When does he become eligible for, say, any license?
Okay, so if you talk about a freshly graduate candidate from India, or rather out of India, wanting to come to UAE, the thing that has to be clear is they will not be applying for general practitioners, because the basic requirement is 1 year internship plus 2 years of clinical experience. But UAE government has made some of the, has created some spaces where doctors who are freshly graduates can come to UAE and apply for trainee licenses.
Okay.
So what will you be doing is you have to just apply for a trainee license, check for the vacancies in the hospital, do your data flow, and then you can start your career in UAE.
Okay. So that's also reassuring for all of them. How many attempts are needed for exams? Like, is there any ceiling for attempts? What if a candidate fails unexpectedly?
The attempt, if I talk about attempt, there are many confusions and people are confused as to there are 3 attempts, 6 attempts, this attempts. So let me be very clear. UAE government or UAE healthcare infrastructures, which has 3 main authorities, they hold only 3 attempts in total. To avoid the confusion, let me also clear you, there are no individual authority 3 attempts. There are in general 3 attempts for UAE. So let's say if you plan to give DHA or MOH or DOH, you only have 3 attempts. So you can either hop between them and plan accordingly, but yeah.
So this is also very important part of our discussion. 3 attempts all together. That's it. Not individual authority. It is all together.
Altogether 3 attempts only.
3 attempts are there. So now coming to the next step. Once they get the license, they are very happy to get the license. Probably the next challenge is waiting for them. How to get the job? So how is the process to get a job here in UAE once you get the license?
Well, once you secure your license, once you are done with step 1, step 2 and step 3, the last stage that we come to is last but not the least one is job apply. How to apply, where to apply. So people in India, like doctors in India or any part of the world who are actively working or practicing, it becomes very difficult for them to come down or fly down to Dubai and wait for 2 months and keep applying for jobs. Well, I'm not saying that's not good. That's absolutely great. But not every actively practicing doctor can do that. So the best part is you can apply for jobs from either, like even if you're in India, you can still apply for jobs provided you have eligibility letter in your hand. Well, that makes or that gives that in a way makes your chances high for landing up in a job rather than someone who's not holding an eligibility letter. And once you start applying for jobs, you'll land up an interview as long as your CV is extremely strong and your CV is curated as per UAE markets, which is an ATS friendly CV, which is very important if you talk about a job aspect in UAE.
Thank you again. Now we do come across lots of recruitment agencies. I'm sure you have dealt with many more candidates, many more recruitment agencies. So as a doctor, how do they identify which recruitment agency is a reliable one and which one is not a scam? Because we do come across all sorts of information nowadays on internet where a candidate may be scammed. So how does a candidate identify which recruitment agency is a reliable one?
Absolutely. I would love to answer that because many doctors have been falling prey for the scams, and let's say we cannot blame the scamsters because they are here because this is how the business works. But absolutely, the most important thing that I would tell them is go through an expert guidance. And yes, I have been coming across many candidates, and hence we have been helping the doctors coming to us for the licensing process. We give them end-to-end support until the job assistance, and that is why we take care of everything. But if you are in India and you want to know how the recruiters are reliable or not, please get it checked if they are licensed from the Ministry of Health, if they have a license that they hold and they are running a business and they are authentic. I know it's very difficult, but as long as you are going through an expert or consultancy, I think you are in good hands and you don't have to worry about it, because nowadays hospitals have made it more simplified, or rather they put up their job openings on a very recognized platforms where individuals are able to see. And I'm pretty sure that doctors are on each and every platform where hospitals have made it clear as we are openings, we are hirings. They have hired the let's say authentic recruiters as well. So I would only tell doctors to research on it before you go and pay someone, and not end up paying someone before having an offer letter.
Least a candidate can do is, if a recruitment agency approach them, at least check their license.
Absolutely.
Check their license. That itself will clarify the things. Now, if someone has a DHA license who is already practicing in say Dubai, Emirates, and he want to move to Abu Dhabi, or say Northern Emirates. So there are different licenses. So what is the process if they want to change, or the same license will be valid in all the Emirates once they are working here?
Well, currently the doctors practicing in Dubai for a long period of time, let's say 10 years, 18 years, they come across such situation where they find a better job in Abu Dhabi. In this case, what we do is, we transfer their license. So the doctor who is actively practicing and holds an active license. Here, I would like to emphasize on active license because eligibility letter cannot be transferred. Again, license can be transferred. So these doctors with active license what we do is we transfer it into a different authority because the doctor has qualified or maybe fulfilled the criteria. The criteria for transfer license is you have to serve the authority for minimum a year, and only then you are eligible to transfer your license to different authority by paying the transfer fee or the conversion fee. Correct. That's simple.
So there is a process, but then you will have to go through that process for converting the license. How often does this license need to be renewed? The CME points and
Correct.
all those things are required before renewing a license. So how often does it needed to be renewed?
So every year the doctor has to renew the license, and the renewal comes with criteria. So the criteria is the candidate should hold CME points. CME points are basically continuing medical education. So that's how UAE keeps you under the loop of constantly learning something new.
Correct.
But it's like a very mandatory step. When you come for the renewal, they will be definitely asking you your CME points, which tends to be in the range of 20 to 40 hours of CME points. And you have to submit those CME points, but also you have to make sure that they are from the recognized authority. So DHA recognized authority, they should be accredited by them and not from a workshop which is not accredited by DHA. So that has to be taken care of.
Yeah. So this is a very important step even from the licensing authority, so that you need to attend educational activities throughout the year, collect those many hours point, whether it is 20, 40, like I personally need to collect 40 points every year to renew my license. So which maintains the standard of care, maintains
Absolutely.
the standard of education, my knowledge, and that is very, very needed for patient care. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. So coming to the last question of this interesting discussion, what is the one important advice, piece of advice, one or two probably, for our aspiring doctors who want to come to UAE?
I will definitely say all the healthcare professionals, whosoever is planning to migrate or turn their Gulf dreams into reality or come to Middle East, is start early, plan well, and have an expert guidance. And because UAE is such progressive, rewarding, and stable destinations for healthcare professionals, anybody coming to UAE will always come with a thought of building a long-term career. UAE government has made sure that this vision stays across the globe. So I might say just plan well and have your expertise, documents reviewed so that it saves your time, money, and put your efforts into a right place.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali, for this insightful discussion, informative answers for each and every question. So that takes us to the next part of our podcast, and which is called as a rapid fire or one-liner answers. So are you fine with that? Are
Absolutely.
you ready with that? Yeah?
Absolutely.
So these are the questions where you don't have to describe, but it's like one or two words. Okay. So one document applicants often forget to upload.
Internship letter. That's the one that they forget every time.
And what is the ideal time to start the process before moving?
4 months ahead of time.
4 months.
4 months ahead of time.
Online exam or in-person exam? Which one would you prefer?
Well, these exams are any which ways Prometric, and these are online exams. So I prefer you can give it from anywhere around the globe. You don't have to come in person and give. It's online.
Online should be fine, yeah. Which is the hardest part of this journey?
The licensing and the study part. Licensing process is the hardest part because many of them fall prey to scams and delays and rejections. That has to be taken care of.
What is the most common myth you have heard about this licensing?
There are many, but I would love to highlight one, and that is once you pass your exam, or rather, passing your exam guarantees you the job. This is the myth that I have been hearing all round, and let me tell you, this is not true. That doesn't guarantee you a job at all.
Probably the second challenge starts after
Your
your
exams.
licensing. Yeah. One resource everyone should use?
Professional qualification requirement released by UAE Healthcare or UAE government, which we shall of course be mentioning in the description. That's a holy Bible everyone has to follow across the globe, whoever plans to come to UAE.
What is the average time to get this license?
It takes maximum 12 weeks if your documents are
12
clear.
weeks. Okay. And what motivates our Indian doctors to move to UAE?
Well, there are many. First is quality of life, exposure to advanced healthcare infrastructure, and other than that, I would love to tell you that the culture, the job ethics are extremely organized, extremely professional, which will help you build your long-term plan careers of settling in UAE and living the life.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Anjali. Brings us to the end of this very informative and detailed discussion about the medical licensing procedure for Indian medical graduates who are pursuing their dream to come to UAE. Dr. Anjali has described each and every what I would say aspect of this licensing process, and everything is in detail. Whatever information, more information is required, we will be sharing it in the either in the description or in the comment section of this video. Please do visit and do mention in comments if you still have any queries related to the topic for today's discussion. Thank you, Dr. Anjali, for coming and explaining everything in detail. This platform, viewers, is more for medical professionals. Whatever information we can share it with them, we will be very happy. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you like the episode, please share it with someone who need to know all the information which we have discussed today, so that he will be benefited with our discussion today. And this is the first hand experience from Dr. Anjali, who has seen each and every step very carefully throughout the process. If you have any doubts related to today's discussion, please do mention in the comments. We will be very happy to answer those. If you want any other topic related to, say, licensing or the life in UAE for doctors by Dr. Anjali, please do write it in the comments. We will request her, if she is free. We will be able to accommodate one more episode next time. Thank you very much. Take care of your health, and remember, prevention is better than cure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.